Welcome to the Alan Berry Reports TV show. I'm Alan Berry Laboucan. I'm the editor of the Alan Berry Reports and the host of this show. Thank you very much for joining us today. Today I'm going to talk about a company that I've been following for several years actually. It's a company called Virginia Mines. And on the disclosure, we are shareholders of the company. And they've been on, we've talked about them in several of our past radio shows, and they're a featured company in our print report, our email newsletter that we send out. If you want to find those, you can actually go to our website, and we've got all of our past reports in a little section called Reports, or radio shows. Now, to find the ones that speak about the Virginia on the radio show, you have to go to our blog, and on the blog we have a radio show directory. And we've talked about Virginia in several of our print reports and several of the radio shows. Now, why I originally started, often when I look at junior exploration companies, we're looking for them to, make an important discovery and either do one of two things with that discovery. Either turn it into a mine. That's the method that some of today's major mining companies actually started out as small junior mining companies that found important deposits and turned those deposits into producers and used that success to grow themselves into much larger and now in some cases major mining companies. And so that's one sort of end game, if you will, after success with an exploration project. Now, another method is the sale of an asset, where a major mining company will come in and buy the entire junior exploration company to acquire the discovery. And in the case of Virginia Mines, they actually were a spin-out from what was Virginia Gold Mines. Now, Virginia Gold Mines found the Éléonore deposit in Quebec, and from there it's a multi-million ounce gold deposit that was ultimately bought out by Goldcorp, and then they spun out so the shareholders of Virginia Gold Mines ended up having shares in Goldcorp. And they also got shares in what is now Virginia Mines. Virginia Mines basically took a bunch of the projects that they had, that Virginia Gold Mines had, outside of the Éléonore deposit, and those projects were transferred over to Virginia Mines. And in addition to that, there was approximately $40 million, I believe it was also transferred over to Virginia Mines, and so they retained a net smeltering royalty on the production from the Éléonore deposit, and so this has been a very good situation for the early shareholders of Virginia Gold Mines, but then Virginia Mines itself has also gone on and had some really good success. Now, it's a very well-run company. I've met the management of the company in the past, and they're really top-notch people. When you're in the business of the mining exploration, it's quite exciting. It can be quite exciting, but it takes an awful lot of hard work and time to become an overnight success. And in the case of Virginia Mines, they have a really strong management team. They also have a really strong exploration team, and the exploration team that was responsible for finding the Virginia or the Éléonore deposit. And so the team has really always been focused primarily on Quebec. And Quebec is always and for a number of years been rated as one of the best jurisdictions in the world for mine development, mine exploration. The government of Quebec is very pro-mining, and and there's a lot of really impressive geology, and this team has really sort of made that their home base. And so Quebec is where they focus all of their attention. Now, in Quebec, they have several projects. One of those projects, they range from being in the precious and base metals. One of their base metals deposits that they've been working real hard on for the last 4 or 5 years is their Coulon deposit, and it's quite an impressive project. As we go forward, we expect to hear more from their Coulon project, and then they've got a whole raft of other projects that they're also having success with on the precious metal side. And so they've got a really good mix of being able to look for precious and base metals, and a really strong team. Now, one thing that's been quite also very impressive about how they manage the company is when they got that big chunk of cash from the spin out into Virginia Mines, they've been able to do somewhere in the neighborhood of $5 to $10 million worth of exploration per year and not use up a lot of that cash. Now, how they've done that is most of their projects, they often will joint venture them out. And so in the joint venture situation, they have the project, the partner, they bring in a joint venture partner that likes the project and wants to spend money to earn an interest in that project, and so then it becomes the funds for that exploration is looked after by the joint venture partner. And so in addition to that, of their own cash that they've spent on exploration, they get a certain portion of that back from the Quebec government. Here's another instant of why they're so, what we call mining friendly, is that they can get rebates for their expenditures. So they get a certain amount of money covered from the partners, they get a certain amount back from the government, and then they also get interest on their money. And now it's starting to kick in where they're getting $100,000 advanced royalty payments before Éléonore is even in production from the Éléonore deposit. So in a nutshell, they've got lots of good projects, lots of money, extremely strong exploration and management team. They're covering from precious to base metals, and their focus is in mining-friendly jurisdiction. One of the most mining-friendly jurisdictions of Quebec. So they've got a really strong team, and I kind of like looking at Virginia Gold because they are a good exhibit, if you will, for an example of sort of what can happen when you're successful with your with a discovery. So later on, I'm going to put a link to their website below, and on their website you can find all their past news releases and do your own homework on the company. So that's a close on the chat about Virginia. Before closing the show, we'd like to stress that this show and our reports are for information purposes only. We aren't making buying or selling recommendations. It's important for you to do your own research and speak with your financial advisors before making any investment decisions. We're always trying to grow the audience, and if you'd like to help us, below the screen you'll see some share buttons which will help you pass directions on how to find the show onto your friends that follow the markets, and you can do that by Twitter, Facebook, or email. We really appreciate you taking the time to watch the show. We know everybody's busy, and we try to strive to produce a show that saves you time and gives you helpful, high-quality information. We hope you can join us for future shows or visit us on our website at allenberryreports.com. And all of our past TV shows are on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/allenberryreports. Once again, thanks very much for joining us today, and have a great day.